Hello everybody, my name is welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiser against Russia. Let's continue on from where we last left off. So the war is over. We have won a great victory for Russia. And we're going to get ourselves into like the post-war, you know, the post-war situation. Sure, we're recruiting new scientists, whatever. You know, actually the problem with that is I think it's because we occupy a lot of territory. Do we need to subjugate any of you? Let's worry about that afterwards. What about you? I mean, we can get Greece on side if we go to war with Bulgaria. Let's return Romanian lands. Let's return Serbian lands. Hell yeah, they can do what they want with that. So first and foremost, what armies do we currently have on the field? Doing nothing. They know there's got to be some somewhere. Like, who are we still at war with? Finland, Ukrainian state. Well, Finland at this point is fucked. Pino Italians, let's send you to go fight these guys. This is the Turkish army. We can just send you back home. Who are you? Combine this into this. Put you on the border of Bulgaria here. For anybody else, everybody else still like kind of has like somewhere they can be. I mean, it'll change afterwards, but especially when Ukraine falls. I mean, it's about time this has actually happened. That we were actually going to win this war. Don't worry about Turkestan. I'm going to say they don't matter at all. Vasily Bordiev has been captured. The last remnants of Bordiev's Free Russian army has been defeated. And what's more, it's now reported that Vasily Bordiev himself has been captured, along with most of the Free Russian general staff. While the common Free Russian soldiers likely to face the personal grip of the POW infiltration camps, the possible fates of Bordiev and his comrades have captured public attention and speculation. After a hurry transfer into the capital under the strictest guard, the leaders of the now defunct Free Russian army have been arraigned and are awaiting a treason trial in the Moscow court chambers. Rather than involve the military for a court-martial of so many former officers, the government has insisted on holding a civil trial, not only to provide a harshest possible treatment for such a grave crime against Russia, but also to deny the Russian executive exclusive right to judge its own members when the loyalty of so many officers has proven weak. An excellent day. You know, just ignore this for now. No enemy ciphers. I mean, I guess we'll crack Russian or French ciphers for now. Who are you at war with? Yeah, you're still at war with the Internationale. Or with the Entente, I should say. These guys will go down towards Sevastopol. We can finally take Kiev. It took long enough. Who's just saying a war against us? Oh, it's still Turkey doing whatever the hell Turkey thinks that they're doing. Sure, we'll go Coastal Force +1. That seems okay. Did we take Kiev? Hey, we have. There goes Ukraine has surrendered, take all their states. I guess I could have also been taking their navy this whole time as well. Didn't really think about that too much. Put you on the north front. You guys can go here. You guys can go here. I don't even know where to even deploy all these units. We'll send you to the Italian front. You can go on the border with Greece for now. You guys can go on the border, I guess, with, like, Norway? Okay. Fall of Shanghai. How was, okay, well, I think Japan's going to probably maybe win in China. It's hard to say. I think we just go to war with Bulgaria. We'll get Greece on our side. I don't think Bulgaria is going to be a tricky country to kill. And you know what? Let's just go more light tanks. More heavy tanks as well. Even, okay, again, these extra factories, it looks like we have more than we have. And that's just because, again, we occupy a bunch of territory that we can't get rid of yet. because we're still technically at war on the continent, which is how the new releasing country mechanics works. But Ukraine in flames. The war may be over, but the fight goes on. This is the slogan of the doomed soldier. The remnants of the Ukrainian military is still willing to put up a fight. From the beginning of our occupation of the south and the east of the country, resistance was fierce. Though all Ukraine was to eventually fall to our forces, the government never fully surrendered. And despite the end of the war and the fall of Germany, resistance only seems to grow. What has thus far been sporadic, unorganized resistance has now coalesced into a single central organization, albeit still operating from a separate cells of decentralized manner. The Ukrainian Union of People's Resistance, the USNS, vows to strike against the Russian occupier as long as they draw breath. It seems that the USNS is composed of various groups, both nationalist, socialist, and merely anti-Russian. Many of them are based around the remnants of the units of the Ukrainian army, but some are built around pre-war terrorist organizations, such as Ukrainian Revolutionary Liberal Army and the armed forces of the League of Ukrainian Nationalists. One more fight. Again, even if you're going to give me like a negative 50% stability penalty, it does nothing. Not even a little bit. You guys need some divisions here. Okay. So wait, where are they're these two states. Draw your line over to there. Bulgaria has agreed. Oh, they become a puppet of ours. Oh! I didn't know that would happen. Hey, Greece, you want to join my faction? I'm willing to be on a peaceful terms. Huh. And that means we're still at war, but we're only at war with the Far East Army now. We can delete this line. Yellow Army goes where you need to be. Red Army. I guess you go on the border with, like, the Dominion of India? I mean, it's a bit of a weird choice, but I don't know where else we would put you, honestly. But now that we have... Yeah, we do some anti-operations here. Now we can start dealing with this situation. Okay. Fate of Sweden. We'll do a Swedish Republic. Fate of Finland. We could do nothing. Let's liberate a Finnish Republic as well. I think that seems okay. Baltic states. Assimilate into our territory. Poland. Okay, Fate of Poland. Let's look at this a little bit more stuff. Once again, Poland is on the verge of being wiped off the map of Europe. Once a powerful player in European geopolitics, the three partitions of Poland in the late 18th century annexed Poland and Lithuania into its three neighbors. And only the German victory against Russia in the First Weltkrieg restored it, albeit as a shell of its former self. With the capitulation of authorities in Warsaw to Russian troops, we now control the majority of the country, and accordingly, its fate is in our hands. Should we grant Poland its liberty, at least with the bounds of a limited kingdom at the last century? Of course, once we've taken this step, there's nothing stopping us from imposing government in favors our interest. Let's liberate a Polish Republic. Invite you to the council. Thank you. Ignore you, ignore you. Turn this land to Poland. Congratulations to you, Poland. I'm fine. I mean, we had Polish nationalists aiding us for a long time. Why would I restore the Habsburg rule? It makes no sense. Liberate an Austrian Republic. Prussia. Form the German Republic. Brandenburg is the center of gravity of Prussia, and thus Prussia informed German Empire for decades. Yeah, let's form a German Republic. It's gonna look like dog shit. So maybe we'll, Alon will be a good military base. Lithuania will assimilate. Estonia, of course, will assimilate. Karelia, we will assimilate. Why would I give that land to anybody else? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. So many things. Okay. Fate of Hungary. Liberate Hungary, please. Bohemia. Liberate a Czechoslovakian state. Posen, give it to Poland. Upper Silesia, give it to Poland. If I can give Poland anything, I'm going to give it to Poland, because I feel like they've done fantastic work. South Tyrol, give it to Austria. Vilnius. Okay, Vilnius will stay with us, but the rest of you... Ensign, we'll give it to Poland. The Danubian Plain, we'll give it to Czechoslovakia. West Prussia. Do you have a port? We'll give this one to Germany. I'm going to give you to Poland to make the borders look a little bit nicer. Yeah, excuse me. Okay, Alon, we'll give that to Finland. We will give you to Czechoslovakia. We will give you to Austria. Provides more building. Stability. Again, we don't need a stability. We need to get people to like me more. I need 150 points for you. We can't really take you. How many pillars? We got what? 2.12. Invite everybody to the council. I mean, let's take a look at our faction. Like, that's a healthy-looking Moscow Accord. Now, I will say it's not a healthy-looking German state. Like, this actually is pathetic-looking. Have you guys support each other. We'll establish. You guys can be there. Put you on the border there. Yellow Army is still fine where they're at. Okay. I just want to fix all these borders for a hot second. Because our units are positioned very poorly. There we go. I think that seems like a decent border. We've taken this. I'm guessing... I don't know if France will always get it. Power production goes up. Rebirth of Russia. Very, very happy to see it. And that should get us down below 3. So we can take our other choices. Build an intel network in Berlin. Build an intel network in Italy. Build an intel network in Algeria. All of that sounds useful to me. The Commune of France welcomes the Tilsit Conference. Stating their shared desire for peace, the Commune of France has sent a diplomatic representative to negotiate. Let us get started. I'm more than willing to make peace for them. Free civilian factories. Okay, what do we want? What do we want? That's a great question. You know, build a handful of fuel silos. Build some more civilian infrastructure. That sounds good. Our demands in Tilsit. With Europe being divided between the victors of the Second Great War, measures should be taken to ensure that a third war will not break out. There are plenty of things that we could demand from the other side, with varying degrees on how much that they perceive it. Either we could keep it safe and pursue a minimalist demands, or alternatively, chart a path that will give us an edge in the conference. Who else is even neutral in Europe? It's literally just Switzerland. Demand white peace. International response depend on multiple factors. Whether America is socialist or is in the Entente, leader of the International is in the borders with us. If we have a puppet, a German puppet state that owns at least part of the Rhineland. Man, mutual army limits. I mean, America, they're not going to say yes to this because they're going to win against the Entente. So, you know what? Let's say mutual guarantee for the remaining neutral countries in Europe. I think that seems fair. I think literally it's just Switzerland. So Switzerland can basically be like maybe Iceland too. No, Iceland is at war. Okay, Commune of France has agreed to a man to guarantee neutral countries in Europe. Hopefully this will deter aggression from both sides. Okay. I think that's honestly all we want. I kind of don't want the rest. I think the rest is fine. If they want to kill the Entente, they want to kill each other. That's okay by me. Commander of the Ukrainian military district. It's not an enviable job to be the first commander of the recently formed Ukrainian military district. Within its jurisdiction, falls under a long list of tasks, like eviscerating the Ukrainian resistance movements, maintaining public order, defending Russia's western border, restoring Ukrainian military bases to working order, and conscripting Ukrainian military units. It is likely that this post will draw much ire from the populace. Should there be too many corpses? Send someone impartial. I think that seems reasonable. Anything we can do with you? Right now, the answer looks like it's no. The Commune of France demands an embargo on the Entente. Representatives from the Commune of France have stated that, to preserve peace between Paris and Moscow, one crucial issue must be taken care of: Russian support for the Entente powers. According to the French delegates, ever since the end of the war, Russia has been covertly supporting the Entente's fight against the Third Internationale with weapons and other means, despite official recognition of the Internationale regimes. Thus, they have demanded that any and all support for the Entente cease, and that the Russian bloc also forbid trade with the Entente. Excuse me. This is difficult for us, as the Entente's war is the only way we are able to undermine the socialist powers without directly declaring war on them. However, it is possible that the Third Internationale sees us as potential co-belligerents in the war, and that they could be planning to attack us if they feel too threatened. In the long term, however, the Entente alliance will likely disintegrate, so it may not be a significant benefit for us aiding them as we are now. Honestly, yeah. I mean, the Entente's fucked. They're not living. Okay, Canada's already basically dead. Our tank divisions. Let's actually just spread the tanks out. Just kind of throughout. That should be okay. I'll be honest, this is a really sad German state. I'm kind of sad this happened to us. Belarusian resistance. So be it. Not a big deal. Honestly, you guys shouldn't even be here. Station you like in the south. The Tilsit cohorts have succeeded. The Tilsit cohorts have succeeded, and both sides are coming home to speak of diplomatic victory. With a permanent peace in Europe while a permanent peace in Europe is no means guaranteed, this success should lay the groundwork for it, and perhaps even more in the future. We all get a non-aggression pact. Iceland and Switzerland were guaranteed their independence. Iceland is actually still at war, but which is actually very funny. They're actually guaranteed, their independence is guaranteed by the French and the British. So, you know, maybe we should force them to be at peace. Yeah, political tools. And then stance. Make peace. So they should just be at war. Yeah, peace with the entire faction. I think that seems reasonable. And of course, you're still fighting you guys in Italy. In the trial of the Free Russian Army. We also need to put some troops, it looks like, in Belarus. Trial of the Free Russian Army. While many expected the judgment of the Free Russian Army to be a bombastic show trial, a vivid reminder of Russia's strength and the destruction of enemies, reality has proven to be much more muted. No jeering crowds or flashbulbs greeted the accused, who themselves have largely kept silent as they are marched in and out of the courtroom, day after intermediate day. The mood is not helped by a long spell of rain over Moscow, which has kept even the court's steps clear of curious citizens. Inside, officers have once called each other comrades, stare at each other, divided not by just benches, but by years of bloodshed and mutual cruelty. Though hardly the only man to stand trial, Bordiev has captured attention far more than most. With his hooded eyes and unshaven face, he gives off the impression of a hardened partisan, an old soldier who is struck waging a hopeless war. Many call Bordiev a traitor, for a good reason, but even his opponents have found it difficult to not sympathize with the man's uncompromising principles. We can execute them all. Yeah, execute them all. Get him out of here. By the way, how is this war going? Yeah, now that we have a full army over there, I'm not too worried about the Free Russian state. They should give up. Daughters of the Motherland. While Russian men fighting in the with Russian men fighting for the fate of the motherland, women remain in support duties. This actually seems like this should have fired earlier. Like, we actually won the war too early. Manpower. You know what? Sure. Women, you can serve in the military. Congratulations. We don't really need you anymore, but... You don't even own Vladivostok. Lords of Eurasia. Invite the Nanjing Nationalist Government to the Moscow Economic Council. Rebuild Ukraine. The Baltic question. Masters of the North. The Anti-International Pact. The Partisan War. That needs 400 power protection. Curtain across Europe. Pause unavailable once again. That's fine. Well, fundamentally true. Complete focus. Third Russian Revolution. Great Forgiving. First Party of Russia. Okay. Gets the Twilight Struggle. Thing is, like, it's kind of funny because we're like in this weird spot where I have a feeling this will probably be like the last episode, right? And what we're probably going to end up doing... Do we need both of these? No. I just need a third Russian Revolution. So... We might end up just like auto-completing focuses. So that we can actually like look at all the events. Because at this point... We're kind of done, right? We'll have our third Russia. We will do codification of the regime. Cure for modernity. Requires like somebody hired as an advisor. Has a complete focus anti-international pact. Okay, there's actually a lot of things they want us to do. What about you? You're not second command. There's Rome fallen. Savior of the world. Cleanse the party. Okay. This will bypass. We get cores on those territory. And the Anti-International Pact enables decision rally the Entente. Now, like, the Entente is fucked. Like, they're not really gonna be doing too much, I'd have to imagine. Just would be my guess. Let's just put it that way. How are the rest of you guys doing? And the French Republic's, you know, still here. I've got a feeling that the CSA is probably gonna wipe peace with Canada. Maybe? I mean, but the thing is, they've already unified, so I'm not too sure. It is a bit of a weird spot for them. For sure. Sardinia's capitulated. So now that's all been liberated, I believe that the international can actually start now releasing countries. Yes. Look at our sad, sad German state. It's so pathetic looking. Like, I'm sorry. The Kharkov trials. Despite a number of officials for the now defunct Ukrainian government who fled or in hiding, we managed to capture hold under custody several high-ranking Ukrainian statesmen during the war against Germany. Those who still remain shall be brought to justice eventually. But for now, specifically arranged trials, meant to dampen the U.S. and its moral and bolster our support in the Ukrainian region is now taking place. You know what? I have political power. Sure, we'll be a little lenient. We'll be a little lenient with them. And none of you have you have not controlled by Russia. Finish organized resistance. I think requires all this to be done, which we are definitely not at yet. I guess Hesha's not at peace. Why are you at war with the Entente? I mean, I guess you maybe were part of the Cairo Pact, and now for some reason you are not. I don't know why that would be the case. The king has fled Canada. Okay. Second revolt is now declared war. Oh, no, actually, that's against Egypt. Well, yeah, Canada is dead. I mean, the Internationale is, they're not long for the world, okay? And it has been annexed by the United States. Canadian, okay, that's the end of the Civil War. The Third Russian Revolution. Do we want to do codification of the regime? That's kind of what we've been building our way towards anyway. So Mikhail. It's you. They want you in charge. You know, we probably don't need division recovery rate anymore, so you know what? Sure. We'll throw you in here. Do codification of the regime. Did that even give us any events? Veering towards a new war. Behind the closed gates of the Senate Palace, there was a rare moment of heated debate. Savanov's cabinet, gathered in the Oval Hall, was starkly divided about the matter of the continuation of the war against the socialist powers came up. The Vaz had already instructed the military to start drawing up plans for Operation Urtria Zvezda, the Morning Star, an invasion of the Social Internationale, though the date for such an invasion was not yet set. As Savinkov wished to know how soon as such an operation could begin, Chair Minister Filenko opposed the idea, carefully, but opposed it nonetheless. He argued that the Russian people are tired and much of Europe is in ruins, and that such an invasion should be postponed into the foreseeable future. He was supported by Vonetsky and Belkov, who wished to focus on the economic rebuilding. This view was harshly opposed by Territorial, who claimed that such a mentality to be weakness. Belkov was also among the pro-war faction, arguing that perhaps Filenko and his allies were getting too soft, and that someone else may be better suited for the position. Savinkov himself stopped the debate, admitting that some time is needed to rebuild, and that war plans can only move after the military considers itself ready. Now again, France, you're not it anymore, okay? You've had your time in the sun. Like, the thing is, like, we're not even done our wars. Like, we're still fighting a rebellion in like Vladivostok. How many troops do you guys actually have? You do have a decent army. I'll give you that much. I mean, our army's also pretty good. But I just don't think like a war makes the most sense. Okay. Okay, but you have a lot of things. We might actually need another episode. I thought this would be the end. Paranoia and conspiracy. Some days after the cabinet debate, a discreet meeting by the moderates of the party was held at the Sergei Lekanterbisky's Daka, just outside of Moscow. The center of conspiracy was forming around Professor Mikhail Alexandrovich, his colleague from the National Solidarist, who were working with the Russian Academy of Sciences. Gorgetsky has always been a strong-willed character, walking a tightrope between criticizing Savinkov but agreeing with his goals. Present with him were Minister Maximilian Filenko and Viktor Byelkov, as well as SRS Duma members Nikolai Vekar and Vladimir Samarin. It was clear that Klinikov and the secret police would know of this meeting, even if they had not bugged it. Nonetheless, they held quite a conspiratorial event. They understood that Klinikov and Savinkov's system of terror was not ceasing, despite the war being over. Quite the contrary, as it seemed to be expanding under the guise of fighting separatism. It seemed that this would only be a matter of time until the more moderate figures were targeted, especially after Klitnikov's remarks in the last cabinet meeting. But what could be done? Russia was a police state, par excellence. Vakar suggested that they prepare to flee the country. But it was Belkov who suggested a bold plan. Klitnikov must be eliminated or disgraced. He was a single most toxic voice whispering in the president's ear, and he was in control of Russia's vast machinery of violence and terror. It calls for the last war. Russia's won its greatest victory in history, led by a great destiny by its Vaz. But the Savinkov, it was merely the first mandatory step. His victory speech to the party cadres was almost nonsensical, long and rambling. In it, he explained how the Germanic civilization, while the mortal enemy of the Slavic kind, was not the final enemy. The last battle, the true battle, is for the human soul. On the other side, there was the soul-destroying materialism of the communist, one that seeks to extinguish the human spirit and turn it into a great machine. And on the other side, there is the faith, the freedom, and faith. 3 stars of the Vaz that has been following all that his life. This victory against the Germans should not turn all the Russian people complacent and peace-loving. No. Now that they have drawn blood, they will draw blood into the binary victory over materialism achieved. The battle that Russians have been waging for decades now. There was some nervous applause, but it must be said that only the most fervent Soviniks truly welcomed this declaration. And most, I hope, it was merely rhetoric. Surely the VAT is not planning to start another great war so quickly. Okay. Russian newspapers are generally avoiding talking about the fighting going on in rural Ukraine and Belarus. Often is referred to it as this vague situation on the frontier. However, at this point, it's almost impossible not to notice, as hundreds of thousands of men are involved in this peacekeeping effort across Ukraine, Belarus, and other liberated territories. Despite low intensity, there is a constant stream of wooden caskets coming back in cemeteries in Russia. That's us. We can take a negative 5% war support. That's honestly not that bad. And for you, how much plot power? The plot will start after at least 3 plot power. You have 40 days. He has 0 qualms about siding over with whoever whims and offers most rubles. He has the funds in the will to join this kind of plot with not persuasion. He's like supportive but will not act. Will support us unconditionally. Too stubborn and difficult to actively conspire against him. Maybe support towards our cause. Yeah, so we'll get you in charge. Slaying the shadow of Savinkov. Fedyan Kleptokov is a shadow. Insanely paranoid and nigh impossible to track. But even he has his weaknesses. Blanco, thanks to his personal friendship with Savinkov, learned that the next time when the Voz's inner circle would be invited to his dacha in one of their informal gatherings. With this information, an ambush was arranged with the support of the loyalists of the army. In a rural country road in Russia, the chief of the Okhrana and the Grostachka is far away from his organizations, only escorted by a handful of operatives. The first time failed due to an unexpected change of route, but the next time, a landmine blew up the front tires of Kleptokov's armored black Buick. Kleptokov survived it, and his operatives opened fire from the windows of the car. The frantic shootout only ended after multiple anti-tank grenades were lobbed into the car, and hardly anything was left of Kleptokov to bury. Savinkov was not a man of emotion, but it was clear that he was distraught when he heard of the terrorist attack in Kleptokov. He spent the weekend drinking, while the government went through the motions starting a hunt for the terrorists under the deputy head of the Okhrana, Ivan Nitrit Konikov. Okay. So he's dead, which I'm assuming is good for us. And we can get you guys done next time. But I will say that I think for now, this is going to be a good time to end the episode. The next one might end up being a little bit short, just due to the fact that I don't know there's 30 minutes left of content. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you next time, and goodbye.